new CBA for the new CBA that was agreed to on Friday. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the vice presidents of the NBPA, the NBA Players Association, or NBA Players Association. So one of the rules, they go 3 2-way contracts, 65 game minimum for awards for players to be eligible for awards in all NBA teams, and add the in-season tournament among a whole plethora of things. So what was the thing that really caught your eyes the most from the new CBA agreement?
I actually think it's the in-season tournament. I don't like exactly know what their framework looks like. And I'm not even sure like how that's supposed to be, how that's spelled out, but that was kind of interesting to see that get voted on and passed. So I'm interested to see like, what does that do for the game? How will players react to it? I'm not sure if I'll be that much interested, honestly, just because I've always felt like the NBA regular season is too long anyway. So I think they're trying to find some way to whether it's create viewership, whether it's to create talk around the game or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what it looks like. I did like what they did this past season when they had the rivalry week. I did like that idea. I thought that was really good. So hopefully those people that made the decision to bring on the rivalry week they have some say so in this in season tournament.
Yeah, two things for me. First, it was the 65 game requirement to even be considered for all the accolades that'll be given out at the end of the season. So my thing is the NBA going to shorten back to backs, or it's going to be okay? We're pushing for y'all to play more back to backs at this point, and we're playing more back to backs. Typically leads to more injuries. A whole lot of people is going to be out, and then we're going to go be sitting here like, okay, now what? So we may have a person that's probably having a season similar to what Nikola Jokic is having, and he may only have played 55 games, but yet he's the runaway MVP. What's going to happen then? So it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be not crowned MVP, and it's just going to go to somebody who just barely meets this requirement just because they played 65 games and just had a decent season, which I felt it's not going to be as great, but I get it why. You want to encourage your stars to play more back-to-back games, and you want to encourage your stars to play in cross-conference games to where that's going to be their only visit. So I can understand that. The second thing, and I know it's a little bit more on the business side, and please forgive me if I didn't get this right, if I don't get this right completely, but I know it was a clause in the new CBA that's going to help more so when it comes to making trades and things of that nature in the deadline. There's going to be another threshold in the luxury tax, which prevents the teams that spend the most in the luxury tax from spending more in the luxury tax, which kind of help evens it out for everybody else. Which I found funny that Draymond Green came out and complained because with this new deal, of course, Golden State is just not going to just up and just sign people that they just sign. And I think an example of this, Dante DiVincenzo wouldn't be a Warrior. John Wall wouldn't have gone to the Clippers and so forth with this new clause in the CBA. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams maneuver now that I believe the top two spenders right now with the luxury tax are the Clippers and the Warriors. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams move forward with this new CBA with that new clause.
Yeah, I would say, I guess the one thing is the tournament. What I liked was the rivalry week that happened this past year. And instead of making maybe the elimination tournament, because it's single elimination with 8 teams, just run the rivalry back-to-back weeks, right? Give a home and home to somebody, right? And give them enough time to travel and do that home and home. Instead, money going to keep going up. They're going to keep finding loopholes. So even with this, I feel like there's still going to be some type of loophole that's given the teams or teams figure it out. I'm interested to when they'll get to the part where I thought they were talking about this, but maybe it's for the next agreement, but I was hoping that for this one is the maximum of 2 rookie contracts at the same time. For instance, maximizing for the Warriors would have been like maximizing Klay Thompson and Steph Curry at the same time, right? They can't have more than two of those at the same time on their salary. So hopefully that gets looked at, but I'm not a true fan of the tournament. I'm really not. The play-in is a great tournament. It means much more than a mid-season tournament that your winner gets what? Some cookies, some milk and cookies. You gonna get some milk and cookies for that? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's one of those things that like nobody asked for it. So like, why are you giving it to us? Like, keep the game the way it is. Like, I definitely to your point. I love the addition of the play-in format. Being able to have teams give them a chance of hope, towards the back end of the season. So I like that. But this in-season tournament, like, nobody asked for that. Get the refs better. We've been asking for that for a long time, and we ain't got that. But I digress. Come on, Two.
Yeah, before Two goes, I got Operation Exodus is slowly approaching. I'll explain later. I'll let Tuka Sharkey get their points across.
I kind of want to know what that is now.
Yeah, you gotta say that now.
All right, so this in-season tournament, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've read, Adam Silver kind of wants to do it, kind of like how soccer does it with their tournament of things of that nature. As currently constructed, this won't be able to happen. So for this to happen, the NBA will have to expand and add 2 new teams. And we all know a team is coming back to Seattle, which means if 2 teams are, and possibly one in Vegas as well. If you're adding those 2 teams, it's possible conference realignment, which means our beloved Memphis Grizzlies may be coming to the Eastern Conference. Operation Exodus is looking like it's a go.
I like it.
So,
I like it. I like it. Like, you gave it a whole name too. That's what's up, bro. So for me, as far as the whole CBA agreement, I don't like any of it. If you want me to be completely honest, I don't like the tournament because what are they playing for? And you said it was going to be money, and you broke the money in half. So that's number one. Number two is that we've been talking 3-4 years on how, the NBA less games should be played so that the players can be healthier. And you done added games on. Like, that don't make no sense at all. Then the game requirements. You're asking for, and I just looked up the numbers. You're asking for players to play 80% of the season, which, if you think about it, ain't too bad. But from where I'm from, if you make a 70, that's passing. And if you look, and if you, I'm serious, Shitty, if you get 70% of 82, you're going to get 57 games. If you put that 57 mark, almost all of our favorite players will be able to make that, even like right now as we stop, but now you ask for 65. So, we can say Steph Curry only played 52. No. Bron, 50. No. KD, 44. D-Book, 50. AD, 51. What I'm saying is our favorite players that we are accustomed to winning the MVP, they either 1 or 2, don't care about the MVP award, or 3, all of the above. It don't make no sense to me. So this is NBA's way to finding out who's going to be the next marketed go-to star, because Bron, KD, all our favorites are about to retire real soon. And there's still no face of the league at this point. Like, if I was to ask, who will be the face of the league to y'all in, 3 years, we probably give different answers. I think that's the issue the NBA may or may not have to, try to figure out real soon.
The answer is obvious. They just don't want to do it, but we'll keep that for another day.
Yeah, Victor one by
exactly. Exactly. And for number 3, by the way, and for number 3 is the players will be able to market gambling sites. I don't like that from one bit. I was talking to Sheedy and Savage earlier. I don't like the fact that, for one, FanDuel already taken our money, but for 2, you're now allowing players to have a say-so in the marketing of which. I don't like that at all. Keep sports betting and players literally far away as possible. They should be nowhere near each other. But now we got to see Kevin Durant advertise for FanDuel, which is going to make me spend more money on FanDuel. I don't like it.
Well, that's your problem. You got to have a little bit more discipline there, brother.
If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800.
That's all, dude.
And then number
Got
2,
me.
and then number 2, man, it's players already dictated, because you're putting money in just hoping that this player goes out and perform. You see what's going on now with the Bradley Beal situation. So
Agree. And I don't like it already. So now it's like, you finna double down. You finna double down on it.
yeah.
No, I don't like it, man. Shout out to the weed, though. Shout out to them legalizing cannabis weed. But hey, cool. Should have been.
We can all agree on. Yeah, that should have been done. But anywho,
I say this. I just like the 65 game thing. I went to the game on my birthday and found out an hour before that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing. Found out 3 hours before that Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson weren't playing because they were all resting. They had some personal leave for absence for Kawhi. They had ankle soreness for a day or whatever made up injury they had for me going to come to the game on my birthday and nobody playing except Jai and Russell Westbrook. Still enjoyed the game, but hey, 65 games to make the first play, cool. Paying customer needs to wants to see the best players on the court, right? So I need that.
That's
so
a good point too. Good point.
I agree. I mean, I see it. I just don't. And then another thing that just came across that what I don't want to happen is you'll probably have a player that probably has to play in the latter part of the season just to meet the 65, just to make an All NBA team or possibly win MVP. Well, if that person gets injured and now he's out of the playoffs, so now you just wasted 2 or 3 games in April just so you could possibly be in content for MVP instead of just taking that L and not accepting the award and just making yourself available for the playoffs. So that's it's a lot though. I mean, I see both sides with it. I just wish it's crazy.
E40 said everybody got choices. They got choices. Choose. You know, MVP want to play in the playoffs. That ain't true. I have more choices to make. It was interesting they did do this little tax thing. They said with the new, I ain't about to go through what all the stuff mean with all the money and had the higher paying teams getting taxed or whatever. But under the new changes, Golden State would not be able to sign Dante DiVincenzo. Milwaukee would not be able to sign Joe Ingles, and John Wall would not be able to sign with the Clippers last year. As a matter of fact, Norman Powell and Robert Covington wouldn't even have been traded to the Clippers last year because they took on more money they sent out in the deal. So a few nuggets there now I'm seeing that it's going to be very interesting that they are helping out the small market team a little more. But I saw Draymond Green complaining about it. Of course, all owners are rich and got money, but the bigger markets do have more money. So I understand it. The players agree to these terms. Hey, Jared Jackson on the vice president is one of the vice presidents. Shout out to him for looking out for the small markets as he's played for a small market himself. And last thing, of course, the 3 two-way contracts definitely interest me because I get to see more draft picks, more higher, level players in the G League when I go to Hustle next year. So that's gonna be love and nice to see, go from first round picks, maybe even playing the G League more often and actually playing majority of the season. So, yep. But overall, I can see the whole complaints about a lot of these things. The in-season tournament is random. Well, it's not random. They had kind of talked about it over the last year, and I didn't care for it. But I do see that it's not extra games. It's built into the regular season. So the games will count as the regular season game.
It is 8 extra games. It's 8 extra games that don't count against the record.
All right. Well, that's what they said. The 2 finals.
I want to go to 57 games. Man, get out of here.
But they say on the 2 finalists we had the extra game, which still it makes sense and it won't count. But everybody else is still just playing 2 games. But hey, NBA do what they do. Players agree to it. They got 7 years on this. 2030, they can't get out of this.
Oh boy. I wonder how much the fear of a lockout came into play for this because I'm pretty sure they wanted to get this deal done as soon as possible because we don't need another situation like 2011. So I guess that was another thing that may have played a factor into the CBA getting done so quickly. So that's just me.